Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys had a great day and are getting ready for the weekend. I know I'm definitely ready for the weekend. I am exhausted. It's been a long week, great week, a fantastic week, helping people get healthy and all the amazing non-scale victories that are coming in from my clients for the holiday season. It is just I'm loving it. This is one of my favorite times of the year, not because of all the holidays. I mean, the holidays are fun, but all the people that I get to help and all the people that are reaching out asking for help, and it's awesome. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. And if you have been sitting on the fence and are, wondering, should I do it now? Should I do it now? Should I wait? I'm telling you, now is the time because it's fantastic. It's so much fun. When you start making changes and you start ending your, finishing up this year on a positive note. I wanted to come on and talk to you about this because I actually went live. If you were in the Building a Better Me group that we have started, that myself and a group of coaches that we've started, that we announced on our webinar last Sunday night, where it's really just about creating new healthy habits in all areas of our lives, creating resolutions, setting goals that you could actually keep with all the skills and the tools to keep it. And it's an uplifting, really positive group, and we're super excited about it because our numbers are jumping up really quickly. And by the way, if you have not joined yet and you want to join, when we are almost at 100, we just launched this group earlier in the week. We're almost at 100 members in the group. When we hit 100, I'm going to be announcing a big giveaway in there. And then we'll be doing giveaways as the group continues to grow, because my plan is to grow that group really, really big. So if you're not in there yet, come on in. It's called and that was a big mindset shift that I had today. That's really sort of, I don't know why it just all of a sudden hit me today. Sometimes we have these days where we're just thinking about things and all of a sudden, like the light bulb goes off. Whoa, right? And it just gets it. And I sat down earlier today and I'm looking at, as we're wrapping up 2019 and hopefully we're wrapping up 2019. To take a look at what are my goals, what am I looking for, what am I going to achieve in 2020. We've been talking about this all week. I've been talking about this. We did the whole webinar last weekend, really setting good goals. And if you were not on that webinar, you can go back and rewatch it. It is definitely on my timeline. And we created a whole ebook that gives all the skills and the resources and the tools to start creating those goals. So that's one of the things that I sat down today to do. And I said, okay, what are my goals for 2020? I know what my goals are. How am I going to get there? Before I started doing my structural tension chart and my SMART goals, which we talk about in the video and we talk about in the Building a Better Me ebook that we created. So if you have not requested that, please do. You can shoot me a message and I'll send it to you. And in those but before I started working on those, my structural tension chart and my SMART goals, one of the things that I did is I wrote down all of my goals and I started looking at them and saying, how many of these goals have been on my sheet for... Sorry, I'm moving spots. Hopefully this will keep my internet connection a little better. How many of these goals have been on my goals list or on my mind, on my heart for a while? And when I started looking at them, some of them have. Some of them are new goals for 2020, for sure. I definitely have created some new goals. But there are certain goals on this list that have been around for a while. And I started looking at them and said, why have I not hit these goals yet? What's going on? What's been holding me back? Why haven't I achieved these things? What is the common denominator? And I'm going to decide to change that now. So I really sat down and did some introspection today and looked at it and looked at each one of those things and wrote out what stopped me from hitting these goals. And the common denominator across the board in all of these things was I'm a big procrastinator. That may be a shock to some of you. Some of you would not believe that. Some of you who really know me well know that that's the truth. I'm a big procrastinator. I have a little plaque that sits in my kitchen that actually says, that my mother bought for me, that says if it weren't for the last minute, I'd get nothing done. I'd never get anything done. And that is the reality. I work really well under pressure, really well last minute. But that's not a healthy habit. That's a really bad habit. And it's something that I've known and I've recognized obviously I recognize it because I have this plaque, so other people recognize it in me as well, though my mother has that same plaque in her house too. And it's sort of a joke, but it's not a joke. The truth is, when I want to reach my goals, it's not a joke. And it's something that I know that if I want to hit these goals, I gotta stop procrastinating. And procrastination is with everything. Procrastination is even hitting my final weight goals. I know that I can hit my final weight goals if I stop procrastinating on being perfect on my program. I know when I'm perfect on my program, it works, and I lose the weight, and I keep procrastinating because I know I've got the perfect program, the predictable transformation, predictable results, and it's in my back pocket. And I'm like, yeah, if I do it tomorrow, it'll be okay. It'll just hang on. It'll do it tomorrow. Francie's laughing at me. It'll be okay because I can do it tomorrow, and I can do it tomorrow, and I can do it tomorrow. And you know what? I'm still sitting here not having it done tomorrow because I procrastinated, and it's ridiculous. And I've called myself out on it, and I'm calling myself out here on it. And one of the things that I looked around and I actually said, for anybody who's followed me ever when I've packed for a trip, what am I doing the night before almost every trip? I'm usually up late most of the night, packing, cooking, prepping, all those things, procrastinating, things that I could have done earlier in the week to be ready, to be packed, to be ready. And then I go on my trip and I start my trip exhausted because I've been up all night the night before or way too, running on a few hours of sleep. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's a bad habit. It's a habit loop that I need to change. And I saw that. And I started thinking to myself as I was looking at all of this today, and I said, I'm going on a trip in 10 days. I'm leaving with my 3 kids to take them to Disney for 12 days as a single parent, the busiest time of year to go to Walt Disney World. I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy. But it's going to be a rockin' awesome trip, and we are so excited about it, and we're going to really miss Micha that he's not going to be there with us, but he'll be okay. He's going to be in Israel for the wedding, for our nephew's wedding. So that's pretty cool too. But I'm getting ready to go on this amazing trip with my kids, and if I start this trip and we're leaving early that morning, we're getting up early the morning that we're flying out, we're driving 4 hours. I'm driving 4 hours because I got to be the only driver because my oldest is 12, so she can't help me drive. Right? I have to drive 4 hours down to Cincinnati to get our plane to fly there, to get in, to land at 7 o'clock at night. By the time we get to the hotel, it's going to be 9 o'clock at night, and my kids want to be up and running and hitting the parks hard the first morning. Well, if I don't get much sleep the night before because I'm up packing and cooking and doing all the things that I normally do, I don't cry too much for Micha Penny. No, I'm not so worried, except that he's going to miss a fun trip. So I'm gonna be exhausted, and it's not going to start our trip off well. And I sat there and I looked at it today and I said, I don't want to go on a trip I don't want to start a trip that way. I don't want to start a trip that I already know is going to be exhausting, wiped out, because one of two things is going to happen. One of a few things is going to happen. One, I'm not going to be pleasant to be around with my kids, and I'm going to be short-tempered. And I really don't want to be short-tempered at Disney World. That's my happy place, not my short-tempered place. I don't want to be short-tempered. 2, it's not going to be safe driving 4 hours by with 3 kids in the car, down to Cincinnati. And if the weather is bad next Saturday night, which I don't know what they're even predicting at this point, but we want to be able to leave right after Shabbat if the weather's going to be bad and it's going to be an issue with our flight. So if I procrastinate, that takes that option off the table. And 3, it just means that I am setting myself up to get sick. If I start my trip run down and ragged, and I know that we're going to get run down and ragged on the trip, I could end up sick. And I don't want to end up sick at Disney World with my 3 kids. That would be miserable for everybody. No fun. I've already told my kids, nobody's sick on this trip. So I had to take matters under control today. And I actually started this a couple days ago. I started pulling all of our stuff that we needed, and I started laying out all of our Disney t-shirts and putting together, because part of that was I needed to know if I needed to order more, which I have. But I started laying that out. But today I sat down and my daughter was home. I had a sick kid home today. Emma was homesick. And I started pulling together all of our snack food that we're taking with us next week, because we take all of our own food, right? I cook and I prep. And I'm laying it all out, and I'm bagging it all up, and I'm separating it all out and labeling it all. And she came into the kitchen and she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm putting together all the snacks. I was working on my food right then, and then I was getting onto theirs. And she said, we're not leaving for another 10 days. And I said, exactly. I said, but now this is all done, and the night before, I won't have to be up doing this, which is what I would be doing. I said, we're going to be packed this next week before we go. And her eyes went bugged out, because never in her 12 years has she ever remembered me packing this far out. But the truth is, I made a decision that the procrastination in my life has got to stop now. I've got to stop this unhealthy habit. And it's one of the things that we know. Healthy habits aren't just about the food that we put into our mouth. It's not just about whether we go and exercise. It's not just about how much water I drink. It's about all of these things. It's healthy mindset. And my procrastination is what's holding me back from going places that I want to go. So once I could see that as my common denominator, I made the decision to stop now. And once I saw that that's what's holding me back, I wasn't going to wait until January 1, 2020 to start working towards my goals. I hear this, it's funny because I hear this from a lot of people lately. I hear one of two things. One, it's I need to start now. I don't want to wait till January 1. I need to start now. I want to get through the holiday. I want to start so that when I get to January 1, I'm going to be ahead of the game and I'm going to be feeling good and I'm going to already be on my healthy journey. Awesome. I also hear from a lot of people, I just can't deal with it now. I'm just going to wait until January 1 to start. And that's fine. No judgment. You definitely don't get any judgment from me because I have been there. I have been in that mindset of, needing to and wanting to just wait until January 1. But I've started asking myself, if I wait till January 1, where am I going to be? Am I going to be in the same spot? Or could I potentially be in a worse spot? And for me, knowing this, recognizing this, for me, I decided I don't want to wait until January 1 to get started. I want to start now because I want to be ahead of the game when January 1 comes. And I can argue it both ways. To be completely honest, I can argue it both ways depending on what it is. And I have clients, I have some people who are coming on as clients, and some people who are saying, I want to wait till January 1, and they have very legitimate things. And my goal, working with any client, is to help somebody be set up for success. So if starting now is not going to set them up for success, then we don't want to start now. We want to wait until January 1. I have one client who's starting December 26th. She wants to get through Christmas and start the day after Christmas because she knows that's going to set her up for success. That's cool too. You need to know yourself, understand why you want to start whatever it is, and this isn't just weight loss, whatever it is for your New Year's goals, for your New Year's resolutions. This is and this ties into what we were talking about in our webinar last Sunday night. When you're setting these goals, you want to set yourself up for success. Set yourself up to start when you are going to be successful and when your head is really going to be in the game. Because if your head, what I want to do is I want to help you not be part of those numbers. I want to help you not be that 80% that by the end of January you've already gone with your goals. We want to rock our goals in 2020. But a key piece to that, a key piece to rocking those goals is to really stop and think. Sorry about that. My internet is wacky. The key piece of it is to stop and think about what is holding you back for the goal, for hitting your goals. What is keeping you from doing that? And once you can recognize that, then you can make the determination, is this something that I can tackle right now, starting today, December 12th? Or is this something that I really should wait till January 1? Or maybe I should wait until January 10th. I don't know. I can't answer that question for you here like this. I can definitely help talk you through it and figure out what is the right way and what is the right time to start it, because you want to set yourself up for success. That is the number one key thing. When you're setting goals, whether it's for the new year, for the new month, for the new week, for the new whatever, for the middle Tuesday of the month, it doesn't matter. When you're starting new goals, when you're setting new goals, you want to set yourself up for success and figure out what it is that you need to take into action to do that. So if you did not watch our webinar last Sunday night, I invite you to go back and watch it. If you want the link to it, just let me know. I can send you directly to the YouTube link. It is on my Getting Healthy with Leslie YouTube channel. You can also, if you want to be part of our brand new awesome group, Building a Better Me, please feel free to join that group. Just request in facebook.com/groups/Building a Better Me 2020. Come on in. Just make sure you fill out the questions on there so that you get approved in right away. And come on in, because it's a group that is designed to be supportive, designed to help people reach their goals this year and to be uplifting and just a positive group. So if you like what you see on my Facebook page, we have a whole bunch of us that are all putting positive things in and uplifting things. So you'll love that page if you like what you see on my page. So before I lose my internet connection once again, I am going to wish you a good night. I'm actually working on my healthiest sleep tonight, and I am going to bed because I've been up too late every night this week and I'm exhausted. So I'm going to say good night to everyone. I will see you back here sometime tomorrow before Shabbat, and hopefully I will see you all in the Building a Better Me group. And if you'd like to request the ebook, please feel free to go ahead and do that as well. You can comment here, you can shoot me a private message, because that ebook is really good and really helpful, and it's got all the tools in it that you need to create a structural attention chart, to create your SMART goals, and really to get you up and running. Have a great night, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.